Alright, we're back here now. Blocked out the arms, blocked out the legs. So, technically three-dimensional, but just doesn't look good yet. Check the video. Videos are they're turning out pretty good. There's one that's a bit questionable about the proper camera angles, and we won't know about this one until I check it too. But I think we're getting the right angles for the moment. So, we're going to start with the arms, getting those shaped out as 3D as possible, you know, the rounded shapes, looking like a natural arm. And then we can do the body from there. As you see, it's just real blocky. So let's go ahead and start. What you want to do is you want to cut along your guidelines here. And this top half here, on my other drawing, the original drawing that has color to it, this is actually flesh tone. So for the old Night King here, that's actually going to be a whitish blue color. I don't know, every time I see him on the show, he looks like he's a damn different color. First time he was white, second time he was blue, then another time he looked black. So they need to get a little bit more consistent with the colors as far as he's concerned. But this top part, flesh tone. The rest of this is going to be like a blackish gray for, I guess, his armor is what you would call it, like a light armor. And I don't know if y'all are fans of the show. I'm sure anybody probably tunes into this isn't a fan of wood carving more than they are an actual fan of the show and are just interested in seeing something. Because I've looked online on YouTube and everything, and I don't actually see anybody who has sculpted or made a character from the show, especially a Night King or White Walker. I mean, you see a lot of makeup tutorials, but nobody actually, no fans making something such as this. Which, that's what I do a lot of the carvings I have, or for me, or I make them for a friend or family member. I don't actually sell them. I just do them for the enjoyment, and normally because I actually like the character or the animal that I'm working on. In this case, I just thought he would be actually pretty cool. I knew the face would be a challenge, and it was. I've actually made 3 heads before I got one I actually liked and thought was suitable to display on the video. But I thought the paint job would be really cool and would be really challenging, because it's unlike anything I think I could try and make right now, having that icy look to it. Alright, see, now we get this bit rounded out. We're going to just continue that down. Not too much, because like I said, he's supposed to be wearing like a type of armor or something. But that's the general idea. And then once we get the arm shaped, we can actually taper the rest of the armor back so it's not so square. So everything kind of just blends and matches together. And always remember when you're carving to make very small cuts. You don't want to take a whole lot of wood off at one time, because that's when mistakes happen, and I've made those mistakes. And that's why this knife, I call the big knife, even though it's pretty small. I made up this knife here, which obviously is much smaller. I don't know if you can see it, but that's for a lot smaller cuts. Usually I'd use it for detailing the face, but I've been prone to using it a lot more on other areas too, so you don't take as much wood off. So let's go ahead and give it a shot.
I know.
That's what I mean by getting rid of the hard edges, is just getting rid of any sharp angled edges. Doing them nice and round, and you ain't gotta worry about getting them like smooth or perfect with the carving, because you can always sand them down later when you're getting closer to the finishing touches. But you want to get them as close as you can with the knife, and then you can finish it out with a sandpaper later. And I don't know if I've said it before, I think I have, but keep reference photos around. That way you know, like for this armor for instance, you want to know which layer is on top of the other. So this bit here is underneath what I call the shoulder pad areas, so that's going to have to be lower than that, and that's lower than that, and so on and so forth all the way down. But that's a little later, and we're getting ahead of ourselves. But that's why you keep reference photos around though. That way whatever part you're working on, if you have a question, you can just refer to it. And have a much newer appreciation for people who video work they're doing, especially handmade items. Is before where I was just taking short little clips and then posting those, that didn't seem too difficult, but now that I have a camera that can actually allow me to be hands-free and show what I'm doing as I'm doing it, it makes it a little bit more difficult. I don't know if it's adds pressure to it, make a mistake or what, but it's just harder trying to think about where the camera angle is. Can you see what I'm doing? For wood carving here, if the camera angle's bad, I can't really go back and do it unless I want to start all over, which in this case this carving's been a pain in the butt as far as that face went, to get it up to standards I like to keep. So just have a respect for all you other people who've made videos well long before me, where you're making stuff and videoing as you do it, because a lot more thought goes into it.
Okay.
Hopefully these angles, these camera angles, working for you. Like I said, the second video, I don't know if I'm going to post them in clips or if I'm going to try and piece them together. I don't know if my skills are that well as far as video editing to make them all, take all these clips and put them together, but I'll give it a shot. But the second one where I'm working on the face, a lot of the angles are really bad, so I don't know if I'm going to keep that in. But it's really crucial as far as showing progression of the carving the face out, so it's a hard one to get rid of, but certainly don't feel like carving another face. Like I said, this face was very difficult. Not only just the details, but being such a iconic character, people know what he looks like and everything like that. You really gotta make it on point. Otherwise, you're just really gonna notice if he's not looking right. Now let's see. Let's give him a little articulation here. Just forearm, shoulder, elbow's not quite in the right spot. And these parts on the inside here, those are always a bugger to try and get at, because Obviously, you get the rest of the wood in the way. So that's where that other little knife comes in handy again, because it can get you into tighter spaces without breaking anything. Let's see here. If you see me pause from time to time, and what I'm doing is because you got to keep a mental image as well as references to what you're doing and what you want it to look like, because you can get to into your own little world carving, and then all of a sudden you realize, crap, it doesn't look like I wanted it to. It's completely like something else, or what I consider a rustic look. I don't like the rustic look unless that's exactly what you're going for, where it's just very crude. It looks close to what you're calling it, but no sense of realism. I tend to try and make things look as close to the actual thing as possible. Alright, well, we're going to keep on working on this, and you can see a big difference between this arm here and this arm here, so you can see what we're trying to accomplish. And to keep these video clips shorter, I'm going to go ahead and continue working on this, and we'll be back with the next one.